John chapter number 20 and verses 8 through 16, we come into the story where the disciples are coming to see the grave of Jesus. They come in and they see nobody there. They see the linen clothes laid and the napkin that was around his head folded separately. And they run out and they say, Jesus is gone. Someone has taken it. Mary Magdalene is standing there and she herself is discouraged. But we see something that happens in this passage. The disciples, they run back to tell everybody, Jesus is gone. His body's been stolen. Mary stands, the Bible says. She stood and she stood, though she was discouraged, she stood. She looked down into the tomb. She sees a few angels, and then as she turns away to tell people that she saw angels, there's Jesus. Jesus reveals himself to her, and she realizes that he is resurrected just as he said he would do. What's the purpose of this story? Peter and John ran to see Jesus. They were discouraged when he was not where they thought he would be. And they immediately ran away discouraged to tell the news, the discouraging news, to the rest of the disciples. But the Bible says that Mary stood without. And Jesus showed up and encouraged Mary. May I say to you today, if she had run off in her haste, she would have missed the chance to see Jesus. Instead, she stood. The whole truth today is this: just stand a little longer. Sometimes you will stand alone, as Mary stood alone. Sometimes you stand weeping and downtrodden, as Mary was weeping and downtrodden. Sometimes you may even stand doubting what God is doing. But let me encourage you in times of discouragement not to turn tail and run. If you will just stand a little longer, you will get to see God come through for you. At home in your marriage, just stand a little longer. At work with your coworkers, just stand a little longer. At church with your fellow servants, just stand in your place of service a little longer. Just keep standing. Just stand a little longer. And by the way, because Mary kept standing, she got to bear the good news to all the disciples that Jesus did what he said he would do. May I tell you today, the reason that we have stories of God's grace and God's provision and God's might and God's power is because saints of old stood a little longer and saw God come through mightily in their situation. Let me encourage you today, Christian, no matter the discouragement, no matter the place where you feel like you've come to an end, just stand a little longer and you too can see Christ in your circumstance. We love you, folks. We'll see you tonight at 7.